First things first, we got to clap it up for Makayla Timpson. We got to clap it up for Makayla Timpson. That woman is proven she's an impact player and she's here to stay. She's here to stay. What a diabolical game. The emotions was running up and down. I don't even know where to begin. Uh, I don't even know where to begin with this game. I don't know if it was a good thing. I don't know if it was a bad thing. We end up pulling out the win 95-91. If you don't know, I'm talking about the Indiana Fever winning to overtime with the Atlanta Dream 95-91. Once again, the emotions was just doing this the whole game. There was a lot of good, there was a lot of bad. We'll get into it. But I would say this. I'm happy with the win. But man, the thing I just cannot stop thinking about right now is 4 seconds left. Or 4 seconds left on the shot clock. And we drew up a play for Aaliyah Boston. And you know what? This is not on Aaliyah Boston. That wasn't on Aaliyah Boston. You don't even put her in that position. Why would you put Aaliyah Boston in that position, a position she's not used to? Aaliyah Boston is not used to catching the ball with 4 seconds left on a shot clock in a tie game or whatever the score was at the end of regulation. She's not used to that. That's on the coaching staff, man. You don't put her in that position. You get a ball to Kenny Clark, who was balling the whole game, and for whatever reason, if you don't get a ball to her, you give the ball to Kelsey Mitchell. To put Aaliyah Boston in that position was just diabolical. And I'm not putting that on Aaliyah Boston. She's not used to that. That's not her comfort zone. And it ain't like the crazy thing about it, she had Angel Reese on her, who's a good defender. So not only do you put her in that position, you put her in that position on an elite defender. On an elite defender. Angel Reese, look, Angel Reese did Angel Reese things this game. We're not gonna get into that, but man, it was a couple. Thank God, Angel Reese is the one who took that last shot when Ryan Howard airball at the end of regulation. Thank God. But like I said, it was a lot of good. Stephanie White, I don't get that decision at all. That was diabolical. I will say, matter of fact, let's just start off with Stephanie White. Stephanie White made a lot of bad choices to me in this game, per usual. But y'all know me, I tend to be fair. She also made a lot of good choices. One of the good choices, no, I'm sorry, not a lot of good choices. I tend to be fair. She also made a good choice. And when she made a good choice, hey, at this point, I feel like I have to give her credit. Going to zone, going playing the zone, switching it up, it looks like that's what got us back in the game defensively. The Atlanta Dream had issues with our zone. So shout out to you, Stephanie White. But man, you made some diabolical decisions this game, and we cannot afford to do stuff like that in the playoffs. The rotations are still funky. I don't get what we are doing with this point guard. I think we played 4 point guards today. Mercedes, the 6'6" center played, which I am happy about. I want to see what she can do, but she only got a few minutes of burn. And honestly, when she was out there, her screens did look legit. I think the first screen she set got Caitlin Clark open for a wide open three. For a wide open three. And her free throws, she looked like she could hit free throws. I need to see more of Mercedes, the 6'6" center. I need to see more Mercedes. Raven Johnson came in for a couple minutes. Ty Harris played. Like Stephanie White need to make up her mind. I get certain situations it's gonna cause for certain lineups, and maybe there's a situation, but it's just too much. I feel like it's been going on the whole season. I feel like it's been going on the whole season. So I wish we can simmer this lineup down. We are getting close to the playoffs, about 9 games away. We need to simmer this lineup down. About an 8-man rotation is what we're gonna be looking forward to in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with this win. I'm glad we pulled this win out because I did not want to lose to the Atlanta Dream for a third time this season. Caitlin Clark, as usual, she's on a roll right now. I think she had 26 at 26 points, 9 assists. She started off super, super, super efficient. Now, towards the end of the game, I did feel like Caitlin Clark wasn't aggressive enough, particularly in overtime, but I feel like she was tired. I just feel like that's the only reason she kind of laid off a little bit. And honestly, she still made some great plays. And wait a minute, let's take a pause. We have to give another round of applause for Caitlin Clark defense. Caitlin Clark defense in this game, Caitlin Clark's defense in this game was elite. Caitlin Clark made multiple elite defensive plays in this game. Her one-on-one guarding, was she guarded one-on-one this game? was elite. I'm not saying she stopped everybody on every single drive, but she played some real good defense. Even on that last and one by Ron Howard, I feel like that wasn't a foul. I feel like that was great defense. Kaden Clark played some good defense today. Kaden Clark is coming into her own. She's playing elite on offense. She's playing good defense. Man, she's feeling it. I feel like right now, this is the healthy, confident Kaden Clark that we have been waiting on the whole season. She is balling out of control right now. She's balling out of control right now. Kelsey Mitchell didn't have her best game, and I feel like when we play teams that has size in the paint, tall, athletic defenders, Kelsey Mitchell doesn't have her best game shooting because she can't drive to the hole and get out them layups. There was a couple times when she drove to the hole and just threw it up over Okad or Angel Reeves or whoever it may have been, and it's just not gonna work that way. So it's just not gonna work that way. She didn't have her best efficient game. She did make some good plays down the stretch. She hit a real clutch three, the one that we needed at the end of the fourth quarter. But like I say, if Kelsey Mitchell is not performing in the scoring department, it's hard to it's hard for her to impact the game. She did get a good assist down the stretch in the fourth quarter also, so she came through at the end. I'm not gonna harp on it too much, but it was looking very scary there towards the end of the game. Aaliyah Boston, she has some good plays. She has some bad plays. Like I said, I'm not going to put that play on her at the end when she had to shoot the ball in 4 seconds. That's on coaching staff. That's on Stephanie White. That's whoever drew up that play. Because that play was crazy. Like, you don't put her. I just don't understand the logic, the thought process behind it. But Leah Boston also made some good plays down the end, too. She's missing a lot of bunnies. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's just, for me, I feel like that's because she's been on the perimeter a lot. She's kind of hurting her game in the paint, but she's missing a lot of bunnies. She's making some too, but she's missing a lot of bunnies, little floaters and layups around the rim. But let's get into some highlights, man. Let's get into some highlights.
Full floor doing a jump circle.
Here's Clark, guarded by Sherrod. Finds Timpson
Good
on the
pass to
roll.
Timpson.
Shillady.
That's good ball.
It's to play fast, push the pace, as does Indiana.
Easy.
Clark.
Hey, like I said in one of my last videos, Kaden Clark is a big guard. She can take majority of these point guards to the hole every single time and just big body. She can big body them every single time.
Bangs all the way in and finish. Here's Clark working behind Boston. Has the switch on Reese. Will fire and hit from three.
No, that one felt
Cunningham
good.
looking for help. Finds Clark. Clark to a wide open Harris. Her three is good. And then Ty said, Cece leaves me in awe. Said, I'm watching her some wheeling, down some.
This is a part of Kaden Clark game that I think is strategic because she passed up a couple of those shots that for her is good shots, but she passed up a couple of good shots to get better shots, I guess. And this is what I would call a rim assist, creating a scoring opportunity. Now, I am watching because I don't want her to pass up too many shots like this. Like, I get it, but this was a good play. I see what she's doing, but also I want her to be able to gauge, okay, like, now I need to start taking my shots or now I need to start getting other people involved. But that was a shot. That's a good shot she passed up, and you finna see she finna get a rim assist.
Space didn't take. Finds Boston
Perfect.
in the paint. Threat basis for this group.
Exactly that, making a big impact, bringing energy, bringing a spark off the bench, continuing to bring.
Finds Clark, back to Timpson in the lane for the lane. Clark, guarded by Sherrod, will fire a bomb.
How do you guard somebody who can shoot from the logo, whose midi is efficient, and who can drive and have a layup package? It's very hard to do.
And hit. Off to Clark. Clark looking to work the lane on Pow. The left-handed finish.
Contact. And guess what? They're sold out for Nike. I think they need to make some more.
Love that ollie as Clark. Clark. Guarded by Howard, an outstanding defender. Clark looking to separate, fading and hitting. She's 3 of 5 from deep. Clark through the lane, reverses it in.
Nice. Kaden Clark, her game is at an all-time high right now. At an all-time high, and I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see this Kaden Clark head into the playoffs. I think we in for a great run from Kaden Clark and the Indiana Fever if they can continue to play like this. Now, My thoughts on the game, I just think Atlanta, honestly, I think Atlanta did what they wanted to do is muck up the game. Kaden Clark had started off hot, but everybody else was missing shots, couldn't hit shots, which is going to happen. But in the Atlanta Dream, they started to dominate us on in the rebounding department. And I'm honestly not going. I'm not quite sure if the box scores is going to reflect that. But if you was watching the game, you know how many offensive rebounds they got in key moments, and or just us not being able to corral the ball. They hit it, they shoot it, it hit one of us, it goes out of bounds on us, they get another possession. So I think that's gonna be something to look forward to, a look to in the playoffs. The teams that we face, like how do we match up in the paint? Because we cannot afford to give up these offensive rebounds, especially in the key moments. That's why I think the 6'6", our 6'6" center Mercedes, she may come into play. Like I said, I don't know much about her, but for the few minutes I've seen today, she was able to set real good screens. Real good screens. She went to the free throw line, and she also knocked down the 2 free throws. And she got to the free throw line because Caitlin Clark drove and just kind of threw it up to her. It looked real fluent. It looked like it could be something there. So we'll see. Before we go to anything else, can we please talk about these refs? These refs are horrible. Like I'm not even playing. I'm not one to talk about the refs. These refs are pretty bad, especially in today's game. It was pretty bad. There was multiple missed calls. There was multiple just flat out like what are y'all doing? What are y'all looking at? That last foul on Kaden Clark for the Ryan Howard 3 was horrible. Not saying that it wasn't. It was a ticky tack foul. You don't call that in that type of situation. Because if Ryan Howard would have made that 3, that would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. It was incidental contact. It was marginal. Like, what are we doing? It was one time Kaden Clark got hit in the face. They called like an offensive foul on either the screener or her. It was a whole bunch of nonsense going on with these refs. They just too inconsistent. They are too inconsistent, and they need to get this stuff straightened out before we get to the playoffs. I just wanted to highlight this stat right here. This is a crazy, crazy stat. Caitlin Clark is the most efficient ISO scorer in the WNBA this season. She leads the league in ISO points per possession and true shooting. ISO true shooting leaders: Caitlin Clark, Olivia Miles, and Carly Lite. I think she played for Toronto or the Portland. She played for one of those teams, but Caitlin Clark is leading the lead in ISO scoring. That tells you where her game is at. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, and we see it. It's something you can actually see. I didn't have a stat. We don't. I didn't. Well, me personally, I didn't have a stat behind it. But when you watching her play, you can see that she's very efficient in taking people off the dribble, whether it's step back 3, whether it's a step back midi, or whether it's taking it all the way to a hole for a layup. We see it in her game, and this stat just validates what we have been saying the whole time. So we're going to get into the box score before we get up out of here. Makayla Timpson, 33 minutes, 20 points, 9 from 13 from the field, 7 rebounds, and 5 of those rebounds was offensive rebounds. Makayla Timpson was balling today. Balling. Aaliyah Boston, 37 minutes, 18 points, 6 for 16, 0 for 4 from 3, 14 rebounds, which is good. She was on the glass. She was on the board. She's missing a lot of floaters, like bunnies. Stuff that we know Aaliyah Boston can make efficiently. She shot 4 3-pointers today. Like I said, I don't love it. Even when she goes 3 for 4, if you watch my videos before, I don't love it. She can shoot, so I'm not mad at her. But I just think she needs to figure out a good balance. I think she needs to read the game more. We can't afford Aaliyah Boston to be missing all these bunnies. So if you've been on the 3-point line, it's the cause of this. I'd rather you be in the paint. I'd rather you be in the paint. Good job rebounding. You have 4 assists, 5 steals, 3 blocks. You know what? You impacted the game outside of your shooting. But like I say, there's no excuses to be missing some of those easy buckets like you're doing. But like I say, you impacted the game on multiple levels. Shout out to Aaliyah Boston. Kelsey Mitchell, 36 minutes, 20 points, 9 for 22. Bad shooting night for Kelsey Mitchell. She went 50% from the 3-point line. One of those threes were big time in the fourth quarter. We really needed it. I think it was to tie the game with a few minutes left, if I'm not mistaken. 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal. So, like I say, if Kelsey Mitchell is not scoring, she struggles to impact the game on in a different area, right? She hustles and she works hard on defense. She's not a good defender, but she do work hard, and I appreciate that. But I don't know, man. We need to get Kelsey Mitchell, and she's a small guard, so it's hard for her to get rebounds. But like I say, that assist she made, I think, to Aaliyah Boston, Makayla Timpson, she has that option a lot of the times. She just don't take it and she'll shoot it. But she can realize that hey, especially when we playing against a bigger team who has big bigs, drive, kick, drop off, you have options. She has options. Lexi Hall, at this point, I don't even know why they got Lexi Hall starting. She only played 10 minutes. She was 0 for 3, 2 rebounds. But, Caitlin Clark, 41 minutes, 26 points, 9 from 20 from the field. She almost was 50%. At one point, she was, I think, 7 for 12, or she was shooting really efficiently towards the end. She missed a couple shots, missed a couple threes. In the overtime, I think she got tired. I think that's why she wasn't as aggressive as I would have liked her to see. But she had a good game, man. Caitlin Clark kept us in this game. Don't get this mistaken. She kept us in this game when Atlanta probably was trying. In reality, should have went up a good 10, 15, 20 points. Caitlin Clark kept us in this game in the third quarter. So shout out to her. She had 9 assists and 3 rebounds. She had 5 turnovers, but I don't know how many. I sound like a broken record. Multiple passes should have been caught. Even one pass, she dropped down to Monique Billings. It was completely Mo Billings' fault. Kayla Clark working on her leadership. She looked at Mo Billings and said, "My fault." But even the announcer said that wasn't Caitlin Clark's fault, but what she did was just show leadership. So that is what it is. Sophie Cunningham had 32 minutes on the 3 points, but she had a big and one in the fourth quarter. She did have 7 rebounds, 1 assist, so she impacted the game on the boards. And Indiana Fever came out with the win. We're starting to put some wins together. Coming to the end of the season, hopefully we can secure a top 4 seed. I'm thinking we can get that 3 seed, but we'll see. Let me know what you think of the game. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you feel like we could have done better. Let me know how you feel the rest of the season gonna go. And let's get ready. Let's get ready for a wild finish. And I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm Jay Williams. This is Jay Williams Sports. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Peace. I'm out.